It's day 2 of the snowpocalypse, and as you can see, we have a lot of snow. I mean, like, look at this. It comes up to my knees. Look at that. It's crazy. I love the snow. Love everything about it. The only issue I have right now is my storage unit's closed where I keep all my product. The post office is closed. So all of my online shipments are getting backed up. And I'm hoping it'll all get sorted out by tomorrow because now it's into day 2 and I have a 1-day business turnaround time on everything. So, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I can, I message all my buyers, letting them know what the issue is and so on and so forth. But right now, I can't do anything but enjoy this beautiful, beautiful weather. Look at that. They say this happens like once every 10 years. Well, it was stopping, or the snow seemed like it would stop earlier, but it just started snowing again. I think we're up to like 18 inches or so, something like that. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. My kid's having a blast. We're about to make a snowman in the backyard. So, and I gotta get some Tetris 99 time in. If you guys haven't played that, it's free on the Switch, and it is really good. Really good. There's no tutorial. It took me a while to understand how to play it, but I think I'm getting a little better. But I'm going to show you guys today 25 things that I've sold in the last couple weeks on eBay, just some cool stuff. And we'll go through that. And I'll show you guys what I paid for it, how much it sold for, so on and so forth. So I hope you guys are having a great day, because I sure am. All right, let's build a snowman.
Okay, Dad.
Build him right here.
Well, okay, Dad.
No. Ball. Alright guys, now that we had a little fun in the snow, my little boy's all tuckered out from all the fun that we had outside. I'm going to take this chance and show you 25 items that I've sold on eBay in the last 2 weeks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a picture of them right here. I'm going to tell you how much I paid for them, and I'm going to tell you what they sold for, and at the bottom it'll tell you the total profit after fees, shipping, and all that good stuff. So first off, we have a Andy Warhol purse that had a Mona Lisa design around it. Found this at Goodwill. I paid $5 for it after discount, and I thought it was really cool. It was in fairly good condition, and I couldn't find a lot of information on it, but from what I did, I gathered a price point of $35. That's what it sold for, and we paid $5 for it. So that was a cool find. I don't find a lot of Andy Warhol stuff, but Andy Warhol stuff usually goes for a fair amount. Then I found a rotary phone. This was really bad condition. Found it from a vintage store. I think I paid $7 for it, and I had it for $59.90 or $59.85 or best offer. And a gentleman messaged me and said, I'll give you $40 for it. I don't need it to work. I'm just gonna hang it in my garage, so on and so forth. So I accepted the offer. I think I paid like $10 or something like that to ship it. Then we have a Tickle Me Elmo I found at Goodwill. This had its box. This was the TMX Tickle Me Elmo, the 10th anniversary one. Paid, I think, $4 for it. Sold it for $39.85. I didn't have a best offer on it because I was very fair with my price, and somebody bought it. That got shipped overseas, I believe, too, so I had to ship it to Kentucky. Then we have Nightmare Before Christmas jersey. I found this at a thrift store in Phoenix. We paid $6 for it, sold it for $29.85. A lot of my items, I usually always do free shipping unless they're heavy items, because I don't like to pay for heavy items, because I'm trying to stay, it depends on the market. If there's a lot of things that have free shipping with the same item, then I'll go with free shipping and just be competitive and do it that way. If they're lighter items, I usually always do free shipping. This is just my tactic. If they're heavier items that don't have a lot of competition, then I will charge for shipping. That way, because my time and effort in handling, package and handling, all of that gets combined into the shipping costs. A lot of people don't have problems with paying for, certain items on shipping. It all depends on how much time it's going to take you to package it, where it's going, how heavy it is, so on and so forth. So most of the time I do free shipping. Anything that I can usually fit into a padded flat rate envelope, I usually always, that or less, that I usually always do free shipping. So paid $6 for it, sold it for $29.85. All right, so next we have a Pabst Blue Ribbon and O'Neill crossover marketing hat, which is super cool. Paid $1 for it. There's one thrift store in town. All their hats are 99 cents. So I pick them up. As long as they're in good condition, I pick them up. Because think about it, for $1, you sell it for 10, you ship it for 4, that's 6, minus $1, 5, minus the fees, it's another $1. I mean, you're tripling, quadrupling your profit on $1. So it's totally worth the $1 investment. But this one I got pretty lucky. Sold it for $23.85 with free shipping. All right, so this next item was a resound device. Now, I didn't know what it was when I first saw it. I picked this up at a Goodwill. It felt very cheap, but sometimes, you just have intuition. You're just like, I should check this out. And I checked it out, and the cheapest ones are going for like $200 online. And I think I paid like $5 or $6 for this thing. Turned it on, powered it on, make sure it worked and everything. Now, what it's for is it's for use with your TV when you have hearing aids, so you can be able to hear your TV a lot better. You just hook it up to your TV, and it sends a signal to your something along those lines. I'm not like an expert on this device. However, I did make sure that everything was right. I did some research on it, found out it was only compatible with certain brands. Well, I put all those brand names in there so people could see if theirs was compatible or not. Well, long story short, I had a gentleman buy it. Now, mind you, I was $60 less than the next cheapest one online. And with the theory that if somebody bought it and they didn't mean to and they were going to return it, they could turn around and try to sell it for more. I was fine with that because, like I said, I had $5 or $6 invested into it. I was making a really good profit. It was going to ship first class. And I was trying to, defer a return. Well, long story short, it was an older gentleman who bought it. And it wasn't compatible with his hearing aids. He said he bought it by mistake. He did the whole proper procedure. He paid for his own shipping. It's coming back, so on and so forth. So I will have to relist that and put something in the title. Please verify that your hearing aids work, in the description, list of something, whatever. But this one I will put back up. So this is a sold that got returned for reasons that were out of my control. And but I just wanted to share that one with you to kind of give you the experience of, I didn't know what it was, I looked it up, so on and so forth. And my thought behind selling something a lot cheaper to try to not get a return, but in certain cases it's going to happen. And being a good seller and just accepting the fact that people make mistakes, you just got to take it right on the chin and just deal with it, and you'll make it back over time. Next one we have is a vintage music box company 1986 Phantom of the Opera snow globe. Now, this one sold twice before for actually more money than what I sold it for finally, but the people never paid, so I ended up having to relist it after the 5 days waiting or whatever. And it ended up selling for $37.85, free shipping. This went FedEx Smart Post. I double box shipped it, very secure. I think went to Hawaii, and I think it was only like $10, not even $10. And I paid like $3 for it at Goodwill, so I'm happy with that. Next we have Dune. Now I was at Goodwill. I scan this. I go through the movie sometimes. I have a relatively good idea on what's worth something and what's not. Well, this one was sealed. Okay. Well, I scanned it, and all the pre-owned ones come up, and it's worth like $5, whatever. Well, I decided to look at new, so I clicked new, and boom, there it was. They were selling from anywhere between $30 and $50. Well, I like to put myself on the low end because I like quick sales. I like to reinvest my money as quick as possible. I don't like to sit there and try to get top profit. It's just the way I do business. And overnight it sold for $34.85. So I was very happy with that. I think I paid, it was like $3.99 before discount. Here's a cool one. So I picked this up for $7 at Goodwill. Came home, fully tested it. This was a Pioneer direct drive turntable. I had a video. This is something I would recommend you do too. I took video of it. I put it to a private YouTube channel, and then I took the link and put it in the HTML of my description so people could actually see the actual item working. I had it for $179.85, and I had shipping on there. Well, then I noticed that there was like 5 other people who were on there charging for shipping too, and they were also charging a little more. Mind you, I only had $7 invested into this. So I put free shipping on there, and I got extremely lucky. Now that was a gamble because this thing could cost me like $50 to ship. Okay? Well, some guy sent me, a $1.60 offer, $1.60.25. And I looked at where his location was because that was going to be an ultimate, defining whether I was going to take his offer or not. Well, I live in Arizona and he lives in California, and I was like, cha-ching. And I took his offer. It cost me $22 to ship it. Mind you, it took me about 45 minutes to package it up because you have to break it all down, package it up all individually, put it all in a box, double box it, and ship it out. And his feedback that he left me was actually like, kudos to the packer. So he's very happy with his purchase, and I'm very happy with the sale. So $7 into, $160 minus fees and everything like that. So that was a really good score. Then we have a Panasonic KXTG7875 handheld set that I picked up from a thrift store down in Prescott. I think I paid $5 for the whole set. Came with the box and everything. Tested them all powered on when they were in their charger, but none of them had batteries. Now these ones normally go for like $60, but I didn't have batteries for them, so I had to knock some money off. So what I did was I went and found out how much batteries were for each of them, and then I subtracted that from the total cost. So if they purchased this and then the batteries at the same time, they would potentially get them at the same time and pay the same amount. So I think I had it for $49.85, and somebody sent me an offer for $45.50, which is more than reasonable. And so that sold. That was pretty cool. Found this Scarface light. It's a rotating Scarface light. And found this in Prescott, I think for $3.99 at a Savers. And it's very light. I knew it wasn't gonna go first class, but I knew it was gonna go at least like FedEx Smart Post and cost no more than $10. And I think it had to go to, it was going overseas, so it went to Kentucky, and it was like $8, maybe $10 shipped. But not a bad profit. Then we had this Harley Davidson pillow I picked up for $3 from a thrift store. And this went to California as well, and I think I paid like $7.60 for shipping on this. So that was a pretty decent profit. Plus that sold almost instantaneously. Harley Davidson stuff to look out for. Usually it goes pretty well. Sometimes depending on the item you might have to sit on it, but for the most part it sold pretty quickly. This was a cool find. Now I uppaid for this. Miami Dolphins starter puffy jacket, a vintage one. And I paid, before discount it was $18, so I ended up paying like $15 for it, something around there. $15 for it. There was a small little stain on the sleeve. Now I had this for $79.99 or something like that. And within 2 hours I already had 10 watchers on it. And when I did best offer on this, but the way I did it was I think I declined anything less than like $40 because I just didn't want to deal with somebody lowballing me, knowing that these things go for a decent amount. And there was none other online. The green ones were going for $70, but the white ones seemed like they were pretty rare and uncommon, like there wasn't a lot on there, not a lot sold. So I let it sit there. I got a couple offers. $50, $50, $50, $50. $50 seemed like the going rate for it. Well, 3 days later, some guy sent me one for $50, and I countered for $59, and he took it automatically, and it was sold. It went to Florida. Luckily, I was able to fit it into a small enough box that I could get it there for almost the price of a flat rate envelope. It was a little more, but I really didn't want to smush it into there because it was in very nice condition. And I didn't want to have it all like wrinkled and mushed up, and they were very happy with the purchase. Next, we have a vintage USA Rawlings Mickey Mantle glove. Now, a friend of mine actually handed this to me because he didn't want to have to do the work of relacing it. Well, I said, well, why would you relace it? Why wouldn't you just put it as is? Needs to be relaced. And that's what I did. Paid $3 for it. Sold it for, well, I had it for $59.85. And overnight, I got an offer for $50. Sold it. Easiest money I've ever made, like $3 into $50, didn't have to relace it. And gloves are super easy to take pictures of, especially in a light box. They turn out really well. Then we have a Philadelphia Flyers Eric Lindros 88 jersey. This was a medium. I paid $6 for it from Goodwill. Had a couple stains on there, not perfect. Put it for $49.85. Took about 7-8 days to sell. Finally sold it. This was, I was able to put in a flat rate envelope, so it's $7.33 shipped. And I think this did go to like Philadelphia or somewhere in the city that the jersey was for. Next, we have this Sony Walkman. This particular model, let's see, WF-F18/F28. Very desirable. All of the ones that were online were going for 50 plus. I did mine for $49.85 or best offer. Sold it for $45 on a best offer. Shipped it first class. Paid $3 for it. Nice little profit right there. Keep an eye out for old Sony cassette tape players and Walkmans. They do very well, but fully test them and make sure they're working. Test the ports, and if you have them come with the charger, that's even better. A lot of people like when they come with the charger, but if you only have the ones with that take the batteries and you don't have the charger with it, that's absolutely fine too. Now look them up. They're not all worth money, but usually the name brands like, you know, Panasonic, Sony, stuff like that, they usually sell pretty well. Next, we have a Philips Magnavox Forehead Hi-Fi HQ VCR, and these usually sell very quickly. This is another item you have to fully test, especially when it comes with the remote. The remote is a big plus. The remote is the difference between, like, you know, $10 and $20 added profit a lot of the time. This one I put for $54.77, didn't do best offer. Did free shipping because I could do this FedEx for probably $15 across the country, $15 across the country, worst case scenario. And I did go into the settings and I turned off Alaska and all the surrounding territories that are not on the main grid of the United States. And this one sold almost instantaneously. I think it took like 4 hours to sell. Next, we have this disc gear selector. Now what this was is, this is one of those like 90s CD filers where you put all your CDs in there. I think this one held 120, and you could press the button, it would, you know, pop the CD out. Everything was automatic. There's no batteries or anything, but just the way the springs were. This one I did sit on for about a week. Paid $5 for it. I think I was able to ship it for about $8. Took a best offer, had it for $49. Took a best offer for $37. I'm very happy with that though. Next item, we have a 1993 Andy Rooney porcelain advertising. Greetings from Mr. Peanut. This one was one of those items that I had no idea it was worth anything. Felt like a good weight. Seemed like something vintage. Decided to look it up. And paid, I think, $2.99 for it. And there was a couple on there that were selling for, or asking for like $60. And they usually sell for about $50. Want the quick profit. Put it for $39.99. Got a best offer for $35. Took it. This one was a little bit, it was probably about 2 pounds. So I didn't get the good rate, but I think I paid like $12 to ship it. So there's still a decent profit in there. Next, we have a Oregon Scientific Smart Globe. This one I paid $2 from it from a very small thrift store down in the city next to me. And I had this on there probably for about 3 weeks, maybe 2. We'll just say it was 3 weeks. Had it for $59.85. The globe seemed to do pretty well. This is a pretty cool globe. You take the little pin, there's little points you can push to it, and then it gives you information, knowledge that you want to know. Really cool, like educational tool. Took a best offer for 41, did free shipping. I think I was able to ship this for about 10 bucks. It went to, I think, Oregon, so it wasn't that far. It didn't go across the country. So that was a pretty good deal. This one was really cool. I picked this up for $5. This is a vintage Underwood Model 310 typewriter. And this thing had everything. It was in its case, had the cover, had all the manuals and everything. I made sure all of the keys worked. I knew it needed ink, but I stated that in the description. And I got slightly unlucky, but knowing how to pack things and knowing what the worst case scenario is, I was able to ship this for $17. And this was like a 10-pound item. And I shipped this from Arizona all the way to New York, FedEx Smart Post. And the buyer seems to be happy with it, so that was a good sale. This was cool. I would have kept this if it was my size, but this was a Jam's World Planet Hollywood button-up, like Hawaiian-style shirt, but it had like cool space stuff all over it, like palm trees and Hollywood logos, Hollywood Planet logos all over it. Really cool. Paid $3 for it. Was able to ship it first class. And we ended up selling it for $25. I think I had it for $29.85 or best offer. Took an offer for $25. Very happy with that. Very cool shirt too. And we have a Phoenix Suns duffel bag. Now, me being in Arizona, a lot of the sports stuff that I find are like Sundog stuff. Sundogs. I'm thinking of the Sundogs were the minor league hockey team that plays in our town. I'm sorry, Phoenix Suns stuff. So found this duffel bag. I think it was like, no, the lady said there was no price tag on it when I went to the register. She says, how does $2 sound? I'm like, that sounds fine. So paid $2 for it. Had a lot of interest in it over the last 2 weeks, but finally somebody pulled the trigger. I didn't do a best offer on this one because I was the only one online, but I did free shipping, so I did $39.85. And I didn't want to smush it into like a flat rate or anything like that. I knew it was going to be under 2 pounds, but I put it in a decent size box, shipped it. I think I shipped it for $8, and it just went down to Phoenix. So that was probably the cheapest I could have got out of that, which is nice because when you find stuff in your hometown of the team that's in your hometown, a lot of the time it'll stay in that state. So shipping shouldn't be too bad. Now, this is a funny story. So I picked this vintage Pizza Hut like pullover raincoat up from a vintage store, $5. And this thing was like immaculate, like never worn, never used, perfect condition. Looked, I mean, this thing is like from the 80s. I looked all over the internet trying to find information on it, couldn't find anything. And I had put it originally for $144 or best offer, free shipping. No, actually I charged for shipping. And I had a lot, probably 5 watchers within the first couple days. And then I ran a sale in my store and I dropped it down to $99.85 or best offer. And then some guy sent me an offer for $80 and said, what's the lowest you'll take for it? And I'm just like, well, he made an offer for $80. I'll take $80 for it. So I accepted it. Long story short, he never paid for it. And I had to relist it. But the reason I wanted to share this because not because it's sold, because I did have to relist it, and it's still relisted, but I wanted to share this because to give you an idea of how much action there was on this. There was a lot of action on this jacket. There was a lot of people interested in it. There was a lot of watchers. There was a lot of people like, asking about it, asking questions about it. And so I think it was something that, it's going to sell. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't think it's going to take that long. But I just wanted to share that with you. One, because it's a cool item, and two, I just wanted to give you guys something like Pizza Hut and other branded vintage stuff, like stuff that's like well known, like Kool-Aid, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, stuff like that. That's kind of out of the ordinary of what you normally see. Look for that stuff because that stuff kind of draws attention to your page, and even if they don't want to buy that item, maybe they'll get to see some other items you have too. It's just it seems to be bringing a lot of attention to my eBay page, so I'm happy with that. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. I did this view because I wanted you guys to see that it was still snowing outside, but I'm pretty sure that it's too white and too brightening to the camera. But All right, guys, I'm planning on doing a video up here soon, bringing you guys with me to the thrift stores to kind of see what I find, what I look for, how I do it, so on and so forth, to help you guys out, and maybe you guys can find some stuff for yourself in your hometown. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace. Oh yeah, one last thing, guys. I just want to show you this really cool item that I'm about to post. Now, I uppaid for this. And normally I don't like to sell breakable things, like pictures and glasses and stuff like that. I do if the price is right. But this one I uppaid for. Paid $24 for it. But look at this. From The Sopranos. It's this plaque, and it says, The Sopranos, I'm the boss, don't forget it. Or I'm the boss, don't forget. But what's cool is it has these two bullets right down here, and then it has a cigar right here. And I looked online, and there's one that sold for about $100. And there's two listed online for between $480 and $600, but they're signed. So I'm hoping if I do a buy it now or best offer, I'm hoping I can get $150 to $200 for it. It's very good condition. The only thing I gotta do is get the rest of this Goodwill sticker off, but that'll just take a couple scrubbies and some Windex. But I just thought that was cool, man. What do you guys think? You guys a Sopranos fan?